Hi, all you SPMEs out there. So today's question has 3 answers, and you're going to want to stick around for the third answer because I'm going to tell you a secret as to why it is a terrible idea to just publish on Kindle. So let's get into it. The question that was sent in today was, should you self-publish to Kindle? And this is a question that lots of people wonder. When you're first starting publishing, there's a lot of options. You can publish through all sorts of different formats, audio and paperback. And you can go to Kindle using Mobi format, or you can go to EPUB if you want to go through draft to digital, or also going through Smashwords. There's all sorts of options. Or maybe you should go to a actual traditional publisher instead of publishing to Kindle. So this is a question that is very common and that many people wonder when they're first getting started, what is the correct choice? This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com. Go ahead and click the subscribe bell if you'd like for me to make more videos like this one, and check below in the description. You can grab a copy of my free self-publishing checklist just to help make sure you haven't forgotten any important steps. So the question is, should you self-publish to Kindle? Well, when I first got started, I definitely started with Kindle. So I published a Kindle, and then I made a reader magnet so I could start building a list of people who were interested in the books that I was doing, which is still bringing in books today, only to discover that the Kindle version of my lead magnet that was in my first book, it actually ended up selling even more books than the book that it was a lead magnet to, which is absolutely insane. I never imagined that. I thought it would be just a short book that would bring in some readers, but as it turns out, there was an awful lot of interest in that alone, and so I was making money off of that in addition to the primary books that were using the same lead magnet. Now, the thing to keep in mind here is that when I first started, I realized that Kindle was in fact the place that I wanted to start at. It really, looking back, it didn't matter where I really started, but Kindle was very easy, and it still is a very easy place to put your books out. But that still doesn't completely answer the question, because should you self-publish to Kindle? Well, here's the answers. The first thing is, yes, you should definitely self-publish to Kindle. It's no easier place to start with self-publishing than going to Kindle. I use a program called Uto, you can find below in the description, to do the formatting and putting the cover into the book, to making sure all the metadata is correct, and to upload it so that it's absolutely flawless with regards to the table of contents. It's easy to fix. If there's any issues, you can put pictures, all sorts of flexible options available with this particular software. And then it would produce my Kindle book or my PDF for paperback or EPUB if I'm going to Smashwords or draft to digital. Actually, I guess it would be just Smashwords is the only one where that really matters. Then the next thing is you also have the ability, if you're going with Kindle, your ability to run special deals. You can set countdown deals. You can make it free for the day, for 5 days every 90 days while you're part of the KDP Select contract, and running ads against it. There's all sorts of options that are available, and some people have even found that when you're putting a book on Kindle, it gets people's eyes seeing that initial Kindle price and then seeing the paperback, and they're like, oh, you have a paperback version available too, and then they decide to go that route because of our second answer of the day, which is there are different types of readers in the world. Many of your customers will like to read on Kindle and only Kindle. For me personally, I prefer reading on Kindle. In fact, virtually every book I read is either audio or it's on Kindle. I don't buy paperback books. So if I have to read a paperback, I'd rather read a scanned copy, PDF copy of that paperback book, because on my phone, when I pull out my phone, I can just simply use my iPhone and read it on the Kindle app on the iPhone itself. I believe I have another app as well for if I'm going a different route with other books. For example, PDFs. I'm not sure if I have done those through Kindle or not, but I think a different app for that. But for the most part, I prefer to read on Kindle or have my books read to me as an audiobook using VoiceStream, an app for iPhone that I enjoy using. Now, so that's that. I'm a perfect example of a person who would only buy on that. So if you choose not to have a Kindle version, you're going to lose on a lot of that audience. So it's both easy, and there's an entire group of people, including myself, who prefer to read books on Kindle. But the secret answer of the day, our third answer, which is why it's a bad idea to publish on just Kindle, is because You want to publish in as many places and formats as possible. You want it to distribute your book so that all different types of readers, no matter where they go, they just keep on finding it. And not just finding it, but in the format that you want. One format I didn't even mention here was hardback books, which I do through Lulu. And that's another format that some people, and I could not even believe this, they will read it on that format. Now you might think, and I've been told this many times, for example, of the 170 books that I have out, I've been told you should be careful not to publish cookbooks in some formats. For example, some people don't like to, who would want to buy an audiobook version of a cookbook? And the answer is, one of my best sellers of all time is a massive library of cookbooks on Audible. People just can't get enough. Now, you may be asking the question, who would buy recipes off Audible? And the answer is, there's just people who enjoy listening to cookbooks. I don't know if they're actually following the recipes or not. There's hundreds and hundreds of recipes, and they're great recipes, but why would you want to listen to it? And the answer is, we don't actually care why our customers want a hardback or a paperback or a Kindle book in this case, but we listen to what they are telling us and we make our decisions based on that. And I can hear it loud and clear, which is that there's a lot of money to be made in coming out with all of the different formats. So the worst thing you can do is to publish just on Kindle. In fact, you want to publish across the board, but when you're first getting started, you should start with Kindle. It's just so easy. It's the easiest platform ever to publish on. So start with Kindle, and once you see the sales coming in, use that money to buy some better tools and to upgrade what you're doing if you're on a budget. Okay? So should you self-publish to Kindle? What have you found? Have you found that Kindle's the right place? Or maybe I missed something here. Sometimes I find that other readers come in and inform me of something. Some of the comments I've read before, like even this week regarding Smashwords and Draft to Digital, I had not considered there was even a third option, which I had to explore to see if maybe I should be publishing there as well. And so leave me a comment below. Tell me what you found, or let me know your questions. I answer 100% of all of your comments. And check up above me here for more video answers to your self-publishing questions. Thanks.